First, I will recite some prayers. अज्ञानं तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मदं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीवैष्णव श्रीरूपं श्रीसाग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरूपश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we will be taking verses from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse number 8 and 9. And the title of the chapter is The Yoga of the Supreme Person. You can repeat after me. Shariram yadvapnoti यच्चा उपयुक्त ईश्वरः गृहति वैतानि संयाति वायु गंधर्व विनाशयात् शरीरं यादवाप्नोति याच अपि कृतम् ईश्वरः गृहीत वैतानि संयति वायु गंधर्व विनाशयात्। If anyone of you want, you can recite.
Shariram
yadavapnoti
yachapyutramatishvara grihitvaitani samyati vayurgandhani
वायुर्गंधर्व विनाशयात्। Anyone from Mataji? शरीरं यादवाप्नोति यच्चापि तत्मीश्वरः
गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति
वायुर्गन्धान् विनाशयात्। Yes, if somebody wants to recite from
online devotees, anybody is ready to recite the same verse?
Hare Krishna. Shariram yadavaproti yachapyutkramatishvara guhitvetani sanyati vayurgandhani vashayat.
Anybody else? Okay, so now I will recite word by word. Shariram, the body, yat as, avapnoti gets, Yat as cha api also, Utkramati gives up, Ishwarah the Lord of the body, Grahatva taking, Itani all these, Samyati goes away, Vayu the air, Gandha smells, Eva like, Asyan from their sources. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another as the air carries aroma. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here the living entity is described as Ishvara, the controller of his own body. He is like If he likes, he can change his body to higher grade, and if he likes, he can move to a lower class. Minute independence is there. The change his body undergoes depend upon him. At the time of death, the consciousness he created will carry him on the next type of body. If he has made his consciousness like that of a cat or dog, he is sure to change to a cat's or dog's body. And if he has fixed his consciousness to godly qualities, he will change into the form of a demigod. And if he is in Krishna consciousness, he will be transferred to Krishna Loka in the spiritual world and will associate with Krishna. It is a false claim that after the annihilation of this body, everything is finished. The individual soul is transmigrating from one body to another, and is his present body and present activities are the background of his next body. One gets a different body according to karma, and he has to quit his body in due course. It is stated here that the subtle body, which carries the conception of next body, develops another body in next life. This process of transmigrating from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karshati, or struggle for existence. Next verse 15.9. Shotram chakshusprashana cha
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शानं च
रसनां घ्रणमेव च
रसनां ग्रहणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
विषया अनुपास्यते
विषयानुपसेवते
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पृशानं च
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शानं च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
रसनं ग्रहणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
विषयानु उपासेवते.
विषयानुपसेवते
Somebody wants to recite?
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शानां च
श्रोत्रं चक्षुं स्पृशानां च
रसनां ग्रहणम् एव च
रसनां घ्राणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायम्
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
विषयान् उपासेवते
विषयानुपासेवते. Someone else?
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शानं च
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पृशानं च
रसानां घ्राणमेव च
रसानां घ्राणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
विषयानुपसेवते
विषयानुपसेवते. Online devotees, if you want, someone can please chant.
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च
श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पृशनं च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
रसनं घ्राणमेव च
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं
विषयानुपसेवते
विषयानुपसेवते. I will go by word now. Shotram, ears. Chakshum, eyes. Sprashanam, touch. Cha, also. Rasanam, tongue. Granam, smelling power. Eva, also. Cha, and. Abhishyate, being situated in, Manaha, mind, Cha, also, Ayam, he, Vishwayan, sense objects, Upa, Upasevate, enjoys. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. The living entity thus, taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and senses of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In other words, if the living entity adulterates his consciousness with the qualities of cats and dogs, in his next life he gets a cat's or dog's body and enjoys. Consciousness is originally pure like water, but if we mix with a certain color, it changes. Similarly, consciousness is pure, for the spirit soul is pure, but consciousness is changed according to the association of the material qualities. Real consciousness is Krishna consciousness. When therefore one is situated in Krishna consciousness, he is in pure life. But if his consciousness is adulterated by some type of material mentality, in the next life he gets a corresponding body. He does not necessarily get a human body again. He can get the body of a cat, dog, hog, demigod, or one of many other forms. For there are 8,400,000 species. Hare Krishna. So, any questions after this lecture? I think Guru Prasad Prabhu, our senior devotee, is there. If I will not be able to answer Guru Prasad Prabhu, please back me. Uh, so these are two shlokas, and I am doing Bhakti Shastri course right now. So there was a test, and these particular shlokas were there. This chapter was there, and few weeks ago we were reading in Bhagavatam early morning every day. In Bhagavatam also there was a chapter connected to this with the 24 elements. Um, most of you, I know, you must be aware of these senses which are written here. Few of them, like 5 senses, we all know. If anyone you want, they can tell if they know. Yes, most of them, like most of us, are aware of these senses. What are they? But when we read in Bhagavatam, there are 24 components, out of which our body and everything, whatever is existing in front of us in this material world, those are the 24 components. And with the mixture of these components only, whatever we see is made out. So these 24 elements, if we want, like there is a Bhagavad Gita Shlok 13.6, in that it says, the 5 great elements, false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. So the field of activities is our body, the place where the action will take place. And there is a performer, which is our soul, it performs. And the senses which we have, 5 senses, are different type of desires we have, that helps in that. And another thing is the super soul. Super soul, when he watches, and he basically he is there to watch us. So all these together, when they are there, then we perform some actions. And as I have read in these 2 shlokas, where it says that in this particular body right now, what we are having and what actions we are performing, we are making a body for the next life. And whatever body we have right now, it is according to our previous karmas, whatever we have done. I was listening to one lecture, and in that lecture one of the Mataji was asking that how, when after the body is after death, when the soul goes to a particular loka, to Yam lok, where the Yamraj will take care of each and everything for the soul, for the jiva. Jiva is the soul basically. We are part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when after the body is dead, the soul will go there. So the Mataji was asking that how Yamraj will decide that what type of body we will get. So Maharaj made it very easy to understand that once the Jiva will reach that particular planet in front of Yamraj Maharaj, he has a big server. He will put that Jiva in that server, and all the karma, whatever he has done in previous life plus this life. It's not only this life, that what we are doing right now, we got this body, and next life the body will be something else. Whatever we have done in our previous life, that is also piled up and it is waiting there. Those things are also waiting there, plus whatever we are doing in this life, that will come together, and then in the servers the data will be there, and these 24 components which I will read now, according to that we will get the body. Here also in the shloka it is said that it depends our consciousness, like with what consciousness we are doing the work and what we are doing the actions and all those things. Dogs are also there, cats are also there, hawks are also there. We can see even tree, plants, small insects, all those are there. But the karma, they are just a bhoga, like bhoga jiva bodies. Means that they cannot perform the karmas, the actions. They are just, how we will say that, they are just bhoga क्या बोलेंगे
species for just sense gratification.
So they are just whatever the karmas they have done, they are just taking those karmas in that body, but they are not doing new karmas, or they are not performing any new actions to get another body. Only human life, it is said here, after 8,400,000 species, after that we get this body, and whatever we perform in this body, according to that we will get the next body. And consciousness is the main thing, like it is said here also. Now main thing is that how we will come to know in what consciousness we are working right now. That is the main thing. We think that we are very nice. As you know that when jiva, this soul, when it comes into the body, it is trapped. It is called conditioned jiva, conditioned life. Why it is called conditioned? Because there are three modes: goodness,
Passion,
ignorance. So ignorance is completely animal. We can say the ignorance is completely in animalistic consciousness. When you work in that, then you are creating that type of body. In passion, it's called, in Hindi we call it rajogun. In passion, in English, in passion we in the starting, when we do some action with our desires, like suppose we want to eat something, and uh, in the passion the food is completely different. It's pungent, it's very spicy and very salty, and it's very, like, it will, in starting it will taste very nice like a nectar, but by the end it will be like a poison, because when we eat spicy food and all these things, we know what is the result in our body. Next day we can feel, and maybe for few more days we can feel that. But out of passion we perform that, we eat that. So, and then there is another thing, in goodness also we perform many type of actions, like giving charities and coming to temple, and maybe giving service to other people, opening hospitals, schools and all those things, and we think that we are doing a very good, like we have done pious activities, but that is also bounding us. Three activities, they are bounding us again to the body. We will get another body. For good we will get, here it is mentioned, maybe you can get a demigod's body, devta's bodies, and you can go to heavenly planets and you can enjoy your life there for some time. But after your pious activities are done, then again you have to come back according to your previous karma, and this karma, then you will get a hawk body or dog body or whatever. Then again, if you're working in a consciousness of an animal, then you will go to that. So these things are always there. So if you are performing actions under three gunas of the material nature, which are goodness, passion and ignorance, you are bound to it no matter what. You cannot come out of life, like birth and death cycle. It will continue and continue. My English will not be good, but it's not my language. Hindi is my proper language actually, but I will try my best. And so these are the things, like So how we can come out of it? We can only come out of it when we grow above these three modes. Goodness also, passion also, ignorance also. We cannot work in them. So what is the way? The way is to work in Krishna consciousness. When we work under the guidance of a spiritual master. Now the question arises most of the time, everybody asks, and I was among them only, why we need a guru? Like Krishna is there, like God is there, and we can directly, why can't we just directly read Bhagavad Gita or read other Shastra and gain the knowledge? But when our child, like we are young or our child is there, why we send them to school? To particular type of teacher only. For chemistry, history teacher cannot teach you chemistry, or mathematician cannot teach you Sanskrit. So to understand the spirituality in a proper way, we need a bona fide spiritual master. For that we have to go and we have to surrender unto him, because he has realized already, he has already given his life. Like the doctor, whenever we are having some problem in our body, we go to a particular physician, and if it is connected to something else, suppose like ears or eyes or something like, then we go to particular doctor who has done specialization in that particular field. Same way, when we are reading Gita, we cannot understand anything. We think we can understand, no doubt about it. We think that, but it is not possible by just reading we can understand it. It's a realized soul who can only pass on that knowledge to you, because he already have read everything, and by the mercy of his spiritual master and mercy of their spiritual master, it is coming all the way through a disciplic succession. It's not one person all of a sudden become a guru and can teach you. No, it has to be connected with some mutt, some organization, like through acharya, then only it will come to you. The best example, the analogy we get in this is when the mango, like on the tree, when the mango is ready and it's like really, पके हुए को क्या बोलेंगे? Right. It's fully juice. It's full of juice, right? If somebody will just break it from the top and just throw down, the juice will spread all over and you will not be able to relish it properly. But if someone climb all the way and take it from the hand and pass on to another hand, then another hand, and when it comes down with the safe hands, then only you can open it properly and you can relish the taste. Same, if it is this knowledge is coming through a guru parampara, then only you can understand it properly. And and our intelligence is not that like it's covered with the mode, actually different modes all the time. Sometimes we work on the mode of passion, and sometimes you can realize, like, so suppose if you're fighting with someone at your family member, so after few minutes only, when you're sitting quietly on next place, you can realize whose mistake was there, where I was wrong, because at earlier the passion was working, or maybe the ignorance mode was like you were working under that. And when you are sitting in a corner, then you realize the goodness, that mode comes, and then you realize you are wrong, maybe you should go and say sorry to him or something like that. So all the time we are going through all these things. Now the 24 components, it is given in a 13.6 in a purport. The five great elements, as we know, those are Mahabhuta: earth, water, fire, ether and air. Whatever we see is made up of all these things only. Then there are three other things, which is called false ego. False ego, that we understand this, we are this body. That is a false ego actually. We are not this body, we know that. Once we are out of this body, the body will be here only, and it will go to, like, it will mix up with all these 24 components. Water will go into water, and the soil, it will become soil after some time. And then there are, so false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested stage of three modes of nature, which is called pradhana when it is not activated, when it is not manifested. Once it's manifest, then it is called three modes of material nature, which I just told you: passion, ignorance and that. And then there are five sense acquiring, knowledge acquiring. It's not written here. So five senses which helps you to acquire the nature, like the knowledge, and we call them Gyanendriya, because knowledge in Hindi we call Gyan, in Sanskrit we call Gyan. So with them you can get the knowledge. So those are eyes. You see first, and then it will go to your mind. Suppose gulab jamun is there, first you see that, and it tells your mind immediately. So something is above your eyes actually. Eyes are just seeing, and mind is reading that okay, that gulab jamun is there and you have to eat it. The second thing is ears. With the ears you hear everything. If you will hear, like if we hear all passionate music, whatever is coming in the market right now, all material things, and if you hear Gita shloks or maybe like scriptures, Bhagavatam or Harinam, then it goes and it gives you in like different type, it purifies you basically. Then nose, you smell something, then only you understand like okay, this is a flower there which I need to smell. Food also, prasadam also, when we smell, then only we realize that it is a nice prasadam and it attract you basically. Then there is tongue also, when you touch something with your tongue, food and all those things, then it gives you some knowledge. And also whatever you think, you speak through your tongue only, you give that knowledge to someone else as well. Then there's skin also, when you touch something with your skin, cold, hot and all those things, with this like simple touch you can understand everything. So these are five gyanendriya which gives you knowledge. Then there is working senses, five working senses. One is the voice. Through voice you speak, you communicate with everybody. Second is hands. With hands you do something. Legs take you to different places. It can take you to bars, it can take you to parties, it can take you to temple as well. So consciousness, your consciousness is working. Then anus and genitals. These are five working senses. Then there are five objects of senses, which is smell, taste, sound, form, and touch. These 24 components are all together, and mind is on top of all these 24 components. Whatever we see in this world, in material world, is made out of these 24 components. It's amazing, like all different proportions only. It's amazing. And then we question God, that where is God? We are blind and we are asking him that where are you? We cannot see with the eyes. When the seed is in front of us, are we able to see tree inside it? No. But when we put inside the soil and properly with consciousness give water and the food the tree need, that particular seed need, then it grow up in a big tree, and then can you imagine like the fruits come on it. I was listening to one lecture, and there was a funny story that a person from a Western culture went to India to a person who was like to one of his friend visited there, who was in village in a simple hut. He was living there. So this person went there and he said that God is crazy. I do not know why he is like created so many things and they are not in a proper way. He said, see, the pumpkin is so big, it is lying on a ground. And the small fruits like mango and all those are far away on the tree. Like they should have been, like it's not easy to reach them. So the village boy, he was listening. Yes, yes, you are right. He didn't answer anything, and they were walking by, and then it was scorching sun, so they were tired. So they thought that we should rest for some time, and then they sat under the tree, and all of a sudden the wind blew very fast, and one of the fruit just came down and hit this Western person on the nose, and it hit very hard. It bleeded, and then he has to go for some particular like some medicine, something like that. And then the villager who was sitting by his side, he said, imagine if God must, like you were saying, the Krishna, like God is crazy. He has put the small fruits up. If he would have put the pumpkin on the top of the tree, then what would have happened to you? So this was a very funny story. And there we also like ask questions most of the time, why it is like, why I am suffering so much. When we suffer, then we definitely complain that why we are suffering like this, what wrong I have done. But we ourselves is responsible for that, and we don't accept it. I am sitting here and saying this thing, but when the miseries come, it is very difficult to accept that it is our deeds what we are taking right now. So as you see over there, everything whatever is depend upon our consciousness, mind, where our mind is taking us. So these are the components. And then the only thing what we understood, whatever Srila Prabhupada told us, is the chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita, and reading Bhagavatam every day. And listening, not just reading by our own, reading in association of the devotees who already understand that, and then discuss about it, about those topics. Many of you are from India and many of you are from here. From India, we know cricket is a very big thing. And for hours, we talk about cricket. And I know in a childhood, I have seen my cousins and my brother, all they were so much passionate about it. Hours and hours we spend on it. And here we know about ice hockey. They are very much passionate about it. We are wasting so much time in that, but we don't have time to talk about Gita. And we all think that we know Gita. I was among them only, because there is one paper on that. It is written that work is everything, and like everything is, there are few things always written, right? We always read that and we understand that this is Gita, but that is not Gita. We have to read like total Gita, complete Gita, and Gita not which is spoken by anybody. Nowadays, anybody is writing anything, their own thinking, my opinion, my point of view. But Gita is coming from Krishna and spoken to Arjuna on a battlefield. So, who understands it? We have to hear from them only. And I have been reading Gita from childhood at my home, but I never understood anything up from it. Every like Navratris, we do fasting and all those things. At that time, I was reading Gita continuously, but nothing was going inside the mind. I was just reading because it will give me pious, something pious activity, right? So I will get some result out of it. That was a business going on. But after I came to this country, Canada, and then my husband took me to ISKCON temple, I was very afraid in starting because I used to think, I watched a movie like long time ago, that Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, all are in the drugs and all those things, hippies are there. So that was the mindset when I came to it. And slowly, I was the person who never bowed down to anybody, like just to God all the time. But when I heard about Srila Prabhupada, slowly and slowly, then I automatically my head started going down to all the sannyasi Maharaj who are coming and preaching us and taking so much pain for us only. So this is what I want to share with you. And by the end of the is in this Gita, there is a one more very important verse, which is 18th chapter and 66th verse, which is Sarvadharma Parityaj Mamekam Sharanam Vrajah Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayatmi Ma Shuchah. The translation by Srila Prabhupada is, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. But surrender how? Like surrender to him, but how to surrender to him? In the afternoon only, when I was cooking my prasadam, then I was listening to a lecture by one of the Brahmachari Prabhu, and he said that surrender means love to Krishna, only love to Krishna only. We love our family members and we work for them like a donkey. We all work like a donkey. The true thing is this only, that we go every day, we wake up early morning, go and rush to the office and all those things. By the evening we come back tired and working like a donkey only. So our consciousness is completely behind the money, behind the family, earning a good house, maybe a good car, and accumulating money all the time. And Gita says that when you are accumulating too much, if you have seen the birds or any animal, if you will give something to eat them, they will just take little bit and then they will go away. They will not bring a bag or something and fill up and then go. But if a human person, if he gets something, if he sees something, he will try to accumulate as much as he can. So here it says that we are working all the time for somebody, we are serving them basically, but we are not serving Krishna, who has given us the body and everything whatever we have right now. Eyes. Suppose if something happens to our eyes, will we be able to see something? If sun will not come, whenever sun will come, then only we are able to see ourselves as well. But we don't recognize all these things, and we are just serving our body or our family members or behind the money only. But here Krishna is saying that you surrender everything unto me. But how to surrender? Should we leave like going to office, or should we leave our family members? Neophyte devotees, we always think, yeah, we should like this is just a trap, this family life is trap, or the work is trap. But Krishna is not saying that thing. He is saying that do your prescribed duties, whatever. If you are mother, my first duty is to take care of my child, then only I can do some other things. If you are a husband, your first duty is to earn for your family, but your consciousness should be always asking Krishna or praising Krishna, whatever he is giving you. And he has given us Gita. He has explained completely what mode you can work and how you can work. And he has sent his representative as well, which are the gurus, the sannyasi Maharaj. We can surrender unto them not by a challenging attitude, not asking them the question because I have more knowledge. If you will if you will go with that attitude that I am very knowledgeable, I am very intelligent, and if I will ask some question, and if he is going to tell me something, I will counter attack and I will say what I feel, then you will not get anything. If you will go with the attitude that this person is intelligent than more than me, he has seen, I am going to him because I need help, I need to understand Gita from him, and then you will ask question with a surrendered mood, not with the like attitude, different attitude. Then you can get the proper knowledge. And what should be the love Krishna is asking for? He said that husband, there is only one wife, and wife will never share her husband with anybody else. That is the love, that is the affection Krishna is looking from you. He is not asking for like when we go to temple, we just go to the shop nearby and we just purchase in $5, maybe $10, one garland of the flowers and a little bit whatever prasadam is there, and we offer and we think we are done. Because in Gita it is said that patram pushpam phalam toyam, you just offer that to me, I will be really happy. He will be happy, he will accept it if you're giving that from your heart. But what is your capacity? Your capacity is just to give him a one flower or just a little water or fruit. If your capacity is to read and give Gita to someone else, what is the real knowledge of the soul for this body? If you will give that and the love to Krishna, Krishna will be very happy. It's very simple. So the relationship between the husband and wife, that relationship which wife is like most of the time, like wife is thinking consciously all the time about her husband, and the nearer one is the child. When the baby is very young, the mother, even if she's sleeping, even she's doing anything anywhere, but at the back of the consciousness, Matajis can understand this very well, they are always aware of the baby, like what the baby is doing, because babies depend upon them. That connection we has to connect with Krishna, because we are connected with Krishna. So behind the consciousness, that has to be there. That is the all Krishna is asking for. And there is another shlok. um, it is from Hari Bhakti Vilas 11 and 679 is the verse. The in that it says the 6 symptoms of surrendering. It is anukulasya sankalpam, accepting those things which are favorable for Krishna consciousness. Like eating habits is the main thing in that. What we eat. Food is also, as we know, like food is also comes under the 3 modes of material nature. Food can be passionate, food can be ignorance, and food can be sattvic, in mode of goodness. When we offer the food which we can offer into Krishna, that is a sattvic, in a mode of goodness. So this is the starting, like favorable, whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness, accepting those things. Second thing is pratikulasya varjanam, rejection of unfavorable things or for unalloyed bhakti. The things which are not favorable in your bhakti, that you have to reject. When we came into Hare Krishna, before that I used to eat onion and garlic. That was the first thing. If somebody is coming to my home and I have to prepare prasadam, my husband used to laugh that now you will just hold the ear of this mixture jar and you will twist it with onion and garlic paste. That was the basic thing I used to make, and with that all other ingredients will like come up, and then different dishes will come out. But when I came into Krishna consciousness, I came to know that we are not supposed to eat onion and garlic and tea and coffee and all those things, which is the basic thing. I was born in India, but I was not aware of it. I knew that we cannot eat onion garlic on particular days, but why not to eat? I never asked that thing. After coming only this, I didn't accept it immediately. It took me long time to understand because it's just a vegetable. But that vegetable, it is giving what the, like when we eat fruit, apple, suppose it's sweet juice is coming inside, it is making your body healthy. But when we eat this onion garlic, there is a medicine value to it. It should be taken only if we need as a medicine. Otherwise, it is giving you desires which are not favorable in a mode of goodness, which will take you to other modes, passion and ignorance. Then you will get a body which is already, because we want that body of hogs and dogs and the species which are in lower planets. If we want, we can continue. So then I stopped eating all these things slowly and slowly, but it took many years to accept that thing, that we should not eat it. So these are the things. So varjanam, the things which are not favorable. Then there is rakshashate vishwasha. We have to have a faith that Krishna is always protecting us. Most of the time we think we are doing everything. Like I know my daughter, now she is grown up, for last 17 years, 18 years, I was thinking that I am taking care of her. Now she is grew up, and she just moved to a university to Waterloo, far away from me. Now who is taking care of her? Earlier also it was only Krishna who was protecting her and giving her everything. We were thinking my husband is earning and I am doing everything for her. No. As soon as she is out, that time also Krishna was helping, and right now also wherever she is going, it's only Krishna, God, who is helping us. He is only protecting us. So that faith has to be there. Then Gopitra Varjanam, the acceptance of Lord as one's guardian or master. It is He sitting inside us. When we go to do something which we think in our mind that this is not a good thing which we are doing. Suppose we are yelling at someone, but at the back of the mind the thing is going on that it is not correct. We all know this thing. Out of angry, like the passionate mode, we shout, we scream, but someone is telling us He is Krishna. So He is always there. To accept Him as our master, He is the only one. As our father, mother, He is everything. Then there is Atma Nikshepa, full self-surrender. Full self-surrender, we believe that we are the doer all the time. Full surrender is that He is the doer. We are just performing actions in different modes. Rest He is taking care. Then Krapanya, it's humility. Humility is the main thing. Accepting everyone, uh, that not everyone actually, accepting our weaknesses. We all have envious, angerness, all those, whatever we say that Rakshasi gun, demonic qualities, right? All the good and bad qualities are among us only. And if you will sit and think about it, you will realize that all these qualities are inside us. Though we show that we are very nice, when we come outside and sitting in this type of places or in workplace or anywhere, we just try to impress everybody that we are the best person. But when we are at home with our loved ones who are dependent on us, then we show our reality time to them. But outside we don't show that that much. So all the demonic qualities are within us as well. The humility doesn't mean that we have to be what should we say to humility? Udar, क्या बोलेंगे? Any word? Like we should not always respect outside others only, even to animals, even to trees, even to insects. We have to respect everybody. That is called humility. And humility is main thing, that accepting that God is superior and we are inferior. And the representative of the God is superior to us. So go to him and acquire the knowledge how to live in this human body. I will stop this Gita part here, and now I will say something about Saraswati Maharaj Thakur. As you see, our dear Srila Prabhupada is there, and his guru's name is Saraswati Maharaj Thakur. Uh, this week there was a disappearance day of Saraswati Maharaj Thakur, and normally in our Gaudiya Vaishnav and other spiritual organizations, we celebrate even the disappearance, not only the birthday, disappearance as well, because that particular day he has left the body and he went back to Godhead, to Krishna. So we celebrate that as well. Saraswati Maharaj Thakur was a son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj. He was also in our Guru Parampara, and he was magistrate at the time of Britishers. And he was very highly knowledgeable person. So he went to Jagannath Puri. Most of you must be aware of Jagannath. So he went there, and there is a deity of their lady like Devi, which is called Vimala Devi. So he went and he prayed to her that please give me a son who can preach your name. So then the son was born, and his name was Bimala Prasad, because he was a Prasad by Vimala Devi, so that name was given to him. When the child was in the womb of the mother, in the dream, one Brahman came in the dream of Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj and told him that kill this child because this child is Kali. Kali means Kali Yuga. He is a form of Kali. And then the Brahman disappeared. But immediately after that, Narad Muni came into the dream of Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj and told him, do not listen to Kali. The Brahman who came in your dream is Kali himself. He is a form of Kali Yuga, and he is trying to distract you. So this is a very spiritual soul, and this take a very special care of this child. He will preach all over the world and he will change everything. This is a special child from Vaikuntha, from Krishna Lok, and he will preach. So after that, Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj, he has many kids, but he took very special care of this child and he trained him under him only. Bhakti Thakur Maharaj himself was very learned, and he has written many books from Bengali to English. And after that, Saraswati Maharaj came and he made a bridge in between Gaudiya Vaishnav and Bengali literature. He translated everything and he preached with the different ways. Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, we call him with the name of Lion King, Lion Guru. He was like lion at that time. What has happened that Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, there were many other things which were like, as I'm telling you, there many show off. We know fake sadhus are there. So there were many things like this were going on, and they were different names, Sahajiyas. They used to wear all gopi dresses, and they used to dance, and they used to show like we are Krishna Bhakt. And there were many other organizations like that at that time. So Saraswati Maharaj Thakur, he came and he removed, like he were against them, and he started telling the truth. What was the truth and what was real philosophy? So he has given that. So Saraswati Maharaj Thakur, he made 64 mutt all over in the India, and he has many disciples. Out of them, he has sent one of the disciples to Western countries to preach Krishna consciousness. So that Maharaj came here and he went and he was influenced with the Western culture itself. So when he reached back home, he met Srila Prabhupada, and there was one more Maharaj whose name was Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He was very learned. Both of them were there, and this Maharaj went back and he has changed his attire as well. Like he was wearing coat and pant and all those things. And then he said that, you know what, we cannot teach, like, Western philosophy is so strong that we cannot teach them, and we don't have answers of their philosophy in our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. So our Srila Prabhupada was standing there, and he was really like eager to hear that what were those questions actually in that philosophy which we cannot answer. So he asked one by one, and he knew that Sridhar Maharaj was very like thorough in the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. So he asked to answer, like Sridhar Maharaj will give the answers, and one after one, all the questions were answered. That particular time, Srila Prabhupada said that we won. We won now. Our philosophy, Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, is pure, and we won over the Vaishnava philosophy. And then that Maharaj left. Then after that, what has happened that
One over the Western philosophy.
one over the Western philosophy. That was the thing which Maharaj said. Actually, Srila Prabhupada said. And then consciousness. Saraswati Maharaj Thakur said that most of the time we give important self-importance. To ourselves we are giving more importance. We should give importance to service. As I told you that we are serving our husband, wife, family members, maybe in our companies to get money and all those things, but we should serve saintly people. Whenever we get opportunity, we should serve them because they have given their life. If we will serve them, they out of affection and love, then they will tell the knowledge, which is the real knowledge, the relationship between Krishna and us. They will reveal that. So service is the most important thing. And then Maharaj was, as I told you, that the humility and humbleness is the main thing. Maharaj was very learned. At that time, Srila Prabhupada said that his Guru Maharaj, Saraswati Maharaj Thakur, was like an encyclopedia, walking encyclopedia. He was learned in each and everything, astrology, and whatever we have in our Shastra. He was through, like he was the top on top of everything. And at that time, Bhakti Vinod Maharaj asked him to take initiation. And initiation was with whom? Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was illiterate. He even did not know how to write one single alphabet. But Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj asked his son to go and take initiation from Babaji Maharaj. Why he said that? It is said that out of like, because Saraswati Maharaj Thakur, because he was very intelligent, very learned person, so he has a proud. And that was the rumor all around the places that because of that he was sent to Maharaj. Otherwise, Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj was already making disciples. He could have initiated his own son, but he didn't do it. But the real reason was that Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj wanted to break, like he wanted to speak against caste Goswamis. As we know now in India also it is going on that if you are from like Bollywood, if you are from that, the kids will also become hero and actor because it's a family connection is going on. Same thing, Goswamis. Nowadays everybody like they put Goswami, but Goswami is not a simple last name. You cannot put it like this only. If you, Goswami is the one who has acquired the control on the all senses. The person who is putting Goswami, he should be capable of controlling all the senses. If he is not, then he should not put it. So caste Goswami's system was going on at that time. They were doing puja and all those things in the main mutt and temples. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj wanted, he was against that. It has to come through parampara, and with knowledge only you can put that name. That's why he asked his son to go and take initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he was feeling conscious. He was very conscious because he was thinking Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj himself is a Paramhans. He can give the initiation. Why he is not giving? But over the period he understood that and then he accepted it. Now the humility is the main thing. And there was a story that one Vaishnav Maharaj was like preaching in the village area, and there was other people like Mayavadis and from other philosophies. They thought that we should invite him and we should insult him. So they invited him to that particular place that please come and we will talk about Shastra. Earlier this was the practice and this term was called Shastrarth. It has to be done between two different philosophy with the person who are with different philosophies, and they will sit and they will discuss on the basis of Shastra, and whoever will be win, the next person will accept the defeat with the humility and accept the another philosophy. So this Maharaj, who was Vaishnava, was invited in a big in a village, and everybody was there. And when he was sitting there, they brought a garland of shoes for him, and then offered to him. And as soon as he wore that, he took their shoes and he touched on his forehead and he said, I am so glad that you all Vaishnavas who are sitting there, who believe in Krishna and God, have blessed me today. That was the humility. Immediately all of them, they surrendered unto him because they were trying to insult him, but the Vaishnava has so much love and affection towards others that he took it as a praise, as a blessing. Same way, I do not know how many of you are aware of Radhanath Maharaj. Shri Radhanath Maharaj, he is a Sannyasi Maharaj in our ISKCON, and he is from West culture. Once he was supposed to give some lecture, and he was climbing on the stairs, but there was so much rush there, and on the stairs, all around on the stairs were shoes, only shoes, and he was supposed to pass through like those shoes. Normally what we do, we just kick the shoes here and there. Not only shoes, nowadays I have seen like we kick even the books. It's like water. The kids who are growing up in this culture now, in Western culture, they kick everything. They touch with the feet. But in our culture, in Vaishnav culture, we are not supposed to touch things with the feet. It's insult. So what did Maharaj do? He could have climbed like on the shoes, right? But he was bending down and he was removing pair by pair, and then he was putting his feet there. This is the level of the humility in the Vaishnavas. So when we go to them, who will not surrender unto them? Right? So that was the thing. So that humility was there, and out of that humility, Saraswati Maharaj Thakur accepted Guru, who was illiterate, but he was thorough in the Shastras. He was not able to read, but by Krishna's mercy, he has all the knowledge. So that was the thing. Then whoever will come to Maharaj, even from the material world, Maharaj will ask just two questions. Do you know who is Krishna? He was not devotee or anything, but still Maharaj will ask only two questions. Saraswati Maharaj, do you know who is Krishna? The person will obviously, whoever is from India, they will say, yes, we know Krishna. Do you know how to serve him? He will say, yes, I know how to serve him. Just take flower, fruits, and Maharaj will immediately say, then Dasyo Aham, I am your servant, you are my master. That was the humility of the Saraswati Maharaj Thakur. He was not even like, and the disciples, he has many disciples, but he never accepted his disciples as his disciples. He always used to take them as a master. As soon as the disciple will give them the Dandavat Pranam, you know how to do Dandavat Pranam, lay down with your all limbs on the ground. Immediately Maharaj used to give them back the same Dandavat Pranam. So disciples were always afraid to give him Dandavat, and they used to try to give him Dandavat from the back, so at least he will not see and he will immediately do that. And not only he, his disciples were also like that. One of his disciples was in Darjeeling. There is a place in India, and he was a professor, very learned professor, and he was wearing suit, boot, and everything, and he was going for some lecture in a special, like there was a special type of people who came there, very learned people, and he was supposed to speak among those group. And as soon as he saw Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj is coming, immediately he lied down on a mud. It was like little water was there, muddy water, and he lied down, and his old like clothes were dirty in that. Saraswati Maharaj Thakur asked him, why you did this? You shouldn't have done that. He said, if I can't even, this is only one opportunity I saw you. Like when I'm going to see you, I saw you right now. It is my duty to give you like my humble obeisances immediately. This dress will come again. I can wash, I can wear other dress, but I will not get this opportunity to surrender unto you and to do the Dandvat. So this was the level of his disciples. And they all were learned, and there was one more disciple. Um, his name was, sorry, I want to say the name because Sridhar Maharaj. He was such a stalwart that all the time he was serving Maharaj and other like other mutts. He was translating something. He was helping Maharaj. The only time he used to ride on horse, he used to study at that time. While riding on the horse, then he used to study. That was the level of his disciples. And what is the time right now? Am I?
20 to 7. 6
Am I out of time, Prabhu? Or
Few more minutes.
few more minutes? Okay. So this was the level of the disciple. There was another thing that Maharaj, Saraswati Maharaj Thakur has got hernia, which is painful, and you cannot walk in that. But Maharaj used to walk many kilometers and for the preaching only. Now Maharaj was like a lion. He used to speak the truth without coating it in a honey. Whatever was truth, he used to speak out. And because of that, at that time, many Sahajiyas and many other Sampradayas, caste Goswamis, they tried to kill him multiple times. Multiple times. Maharaj started, there's a place, Mayapur, which was the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was the main like mud where Maharaj used to stay and go and preach. Once he went there, and the attack was, he was attacked with the Sahajiyas. They plotted and they tried to shoot him basically. So this has happened multiple times. So then if the people from India, they know the Punjab is famous for very healthy people. So the one person was brought from there as a guard who was guarding Maharaj all the time. And so this was the thing, and Maharaj has translated multiple books for us. And one more thing I would like to tell, that what Maharaj has told about this body, he straightforward has told us this body is just taking prasadam and transferring that prasadam into stool. This is the body. This is the only work this body is doing. If we are not reading our Shastra, then we are just doing this, taking prasadam and turning it into another 24 exponent. That is also one of the exponent with the 24 elements. So we are just doing that. This was the thing. And he was so much learned that when he was speaking in Bengali, and Srila Prabhupada was Bengali himself, but when he was sitting and listening to the lecture, Srila Prabhupada himself said that he could not understand a single word of Bengali at that time. He was Bengali, Srila Prabhupada was Bengali, he used to speak Bengali, but the language which Saraswati Maharaj Thakur was speaking was very aristocrat type of language, and he couldn't even understand a single word. But Srila Prabhupada said that I kept on sitting in the lecture, and slowly I started understanding each and every word what Saraswati Maharaj Thakur was saying. So these are the few things. There are many more things, but I think time is very limited. I will just stop here only. And if there is any questions, realizations or comments, if I have like made some mistakes, please forgive me for that. And if there is any realization or anything, please share with us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees online, any questions, comments, realizations? Oh, yeah, we have hands up. Just a second. Mataji, go ahead. Or Sahil Prabhu or Mataji, who's first? Sahil Prabhu, if you are unmuted, go ahead.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mother, for your wonderful lecture. And I have a question. You explained what is humility. And I think there was 3 things that defined humility. And I think I've missed one of them. But those I recall is not seeing all living entities inferior, but equal to us would be a sign of humility. And the other one is to render, is to surrender and pay obeisances also to senior devotees and the spiritual master. So correct me if I understood wrong, but also if you could complete the definition or the criteria for someone to be humble. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much. Mataji, these are not only the 2 points. These are among those points. These are also among those points. There are many things in humanity. I do not know whether I say this thing here, but whatever is the truth is truth. Like we don't respect our other living entities. The main thing is when we eat meat in our plate, do we really respect others? Krishna has given them the body. We are taking their freedom. We kill them just for the taste of our tongue. There are other things which we can eat. That is a part of humanity. There are many other points, Mataji. Out of that, this is also one of the points that we should respect each and everybody, living entities, even the animals, even the plants, small insects. And we should respect other people as well. Maybe Guru Prasad Prabhu can add on to it. He is more learned and he is very senior devotee. So maybe Prabhuji can say something about it.
Hare Krishna. What I understood to be humility is also we give respect to everyone, not only equal, even people whom strangers. So we respect everyone. So and also we don't in return expect any honor for us. So this is like giving respect to others. But if someone doesn't give respect to us, that's okay because we don't take it as a big thing. So we don't feel absolutely we feel okay with that. So no other feeling. Always ready to give respect, but not expect respect for others. So this is 2 of the main things in terms of humility. And as you said, that there are other things which are subsidiary supporting these 2, but I think these 2 are 2 main points. All right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I want to know whether the person who asked the question, I think, is Mother Anne. Is she satisfied, or she wants any further clarification?
Yes, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you for your first presentation, and you very well managed to pack a lot of things in one lecture. So you have prepared yourself well. Hope you will be able to give more lectures in the future. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada's disciple because whatever I spoke today, I didn't speak a single word from my side. Maybe the language and words are mine, but I was listening to all the lectures and then only I have prepared. All points were from that only.
Sahil Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Mataji. I don't have question, but the realization you mentioned 1.5, we suffer so much. So there was an example or Siddhant of parrot. He was crying in cage. His owner thought because he's stuck in iron cage, he changed it to silver, and then probably he also changed it to gold cage as well. But crying was still ongoing. It's similar that if we change this body from one to another body, crying will not stop unless the soul meets super soul. It's similar to when we move from one house to another house, there's still a suffering. So, so, so that was really a good point. So thank you for the wonderful lecture, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. The main point is the consciousness, because this is the only consciousness which we carry to the next body. Even in this body, the consciousness we are carrying is we have accumulated from our previous birth, and we work according to that only. You can see among us also few, like someone is very humble, someone is very angry, very short tempered. It is because they were working in different bodies, their consciousness were different. But now it is the body is this, but the consciousness we are carrying still from the previous body. So that is the main thing. And one more thing which I missed in this for the humbleness, there was a person, Madrasi, like from the south India. He came to take darshan of the deities of Saraswati Maharaj Thakur. He expected that I will see a big deities there, beautiful deities. So as soon as the curtain was removed, there was a printer there. The printer was there on the altar as a deity, and Saraswati Maharaj Thakur was treating him as a deity, and with the paraphernalia and all those things, he was performing artis. And that person was very he was shocked basically, and he said, I was expecting deities there. So what printer is doing there? Maharaj said, this printer is giving service. Vigra is different, but printer is printing this Bhagavad Gita, all the Shastras. So this is the humility, the level of the humility. Printer is dead. If we will see, it's just an object. This thing which is giving you right now, like you are able to hear me more loudly through this thing. We have to give respect to this thing as well. This is the level of the humility. But we can see where we stand right now. We need to learn lots of things. So thank you very much for listening. And if I committed some mistake or corrections, please forgive me and correct me later on if something is there. I will happily take it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mother Shushma. I also wanted to echo Guru Prasad Prabhu's appreciation of your class, and also say yes, that we hope that we hear from you more often for a Sunday program. So you'll be hearing from me. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear devotees, also at the temple. It's nice to see everyone again. And for all intensive purposes right now, just not to keep the program going too long, I think now devotees will have kirtan at the temple, and then once again prasadam will be packed away, so you can take it with yourselves at home and enjoy it there. Ilya Prabhu, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. We'll have kirtan. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.